Cristian Romero's comments just an hour after the transfer window closed on Monday. His comments included the words unbelievable and disgraceful. James Wilson has joined Spurs from Hearts. He will now join the academy. Liam Horgan has joined Spurs to work with Thomas Frank yet again. Conor Gallagher said the crowd made a difference at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Manchester City on Sunday. And Gallagher on Xavi Simons, he said he is a great player. He will get better and better. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Chris Cowlin here. This is another edition of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Now I'm going to get straight into it. Monday evening, 7 p.m. UK time, the transfer window officially closed. Now just short of an hour later, Cristian Romero, the Tottenham Hotspur captain, wrote the following on Instagram. Great effort from all of my teammates yesterday. They were incredible. I wanted to be available to help them, even though I wasn't feeling well, especially since we only had 11 players available. Unbelievable, but true and disgraceful. We will keep showing up and taking responsibility to turn this around, working hard and staying together. All that's left is to thank you for being there and always supporting us, the fans. Spurs midfielder Conor Gallagher has spoken out about drawing 2-2 against Manchester City, and of course he was the one that assisted Dominic Solanke for the equaliser, that scorpion kick. He said it was a brilliant second half. I thought we showed great character and personality to come back from 2-0 down. I think all the credit goes to the boys and we really put in the work. I'm just happy it came out a good result in the end. I understand the crowd's frustration at times. All we want to do is win the games and do what we can to win the game. As soon as we do something good at the start of the second half and the crowd is there with us, it makes all of the difference. That is a big reason why we were able to come back from 2 goals down. I thought the crowd were brilliant in the second half. Conor Gallagher then went on to talk about Xavi Simons. He said he is a brilliant player. He is one of those guys that you want on your team. He works so hard and he just wants to win. He has a lot of passion to give and obviously a lot of quality as well. He is going to get better and better. He is a top player. He wants to get on the ball. He will run forward. He create chances and he will score. He is great. Now, of course, on transfer deadline day on Monday, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club confirmed the signing of James Wilson, a loan deal from Hearts for the remainder of this season with an option to make the move permanent in the summer. Now let's talk a little bit about some more transfer deadline day activity. Now Herbie James joined League One side Cardiff City from Spurs on a permanent transfer. George Abbott made the move to Mansfield Town on loan until the end of the season. Alfie Dorrington has joined League Two side Salford City for the remainder of the 2025-2026 campaign. And Spurs announced the signing of Joel Vidal-Filbert, who joins our academy from Chelsea Academy. Football.London have just stated that Liam Horgan has joined Spurs as the club's first-team rehabilitation physiotherapist. He worked with Thomas Frank during 5 years as Brentford's first-team physio between 2019 and 2024, after another 3 with the B team. Before making the move to Crystal Palace for an 18-month stint, Horgan becomes the 9th former Brentford staff member among Thomas Frank's staff to make the move to work at Spurs. Now for a loan update on Tuesday evening, Yusuf Akhamrich was on the score sheet again for Bristol Rovers. He scored the first goal in a 2-0 home win against Walsall. He has now played 2 games for Bristol Rovers, scoring 3 times. Now the Spurs under-19s will be in action on Wednesday evening in the UEFA Youth League. They face Real Betis away in the round of 32. The game will be played at Seville in Spain. The kick-off time 5 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. local time. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Let's start by talking about the transfer window overall. Of course, the transfer window closed, the winter window closed on Monday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. Did Spurs do enough? Absolutely not. Is it disappointing? Yes, sadly it is. Thomas Frank and his squad are in a sorry state right now. We're down to bare bones, and we are literally, just about got enough players to field a team in the Premier League and in the Champions League right now. This last week or so, playing out in Frankfurt and, of course, the Manchester City game. Injuries galore again. How many times have we been talking about injuries? Certainly the last couple of seasons under Ange Postecoglou, and Ange got the blame for a lot of these injuries. And of course, we've had probably even more injuries this season, and Thomas Frank is literally down to bare bones. We've brought in 2 first-team players. Of course, Conor Gallagher, 25-year-old midfielder, played 3 games for us so far. Sosa, a left-back, 19-year-old from Santos. He was on the bench for the Manchester City game. I don't think that was planned at all. I think it was because we were such down to bare bones and had such a weak squad that you had to be on the bench on Sunday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So, a very, very disappointing window, because the way that I view it, and this isn't being dramatic, this is being very, very realistic. In the squad that we have right now, I felt that we have, or did have, a real opportunity of, putting some real quality, impact players into this squad, helping Thomas Frank until the end of the season, and us climbing up that Premier League table. Because let's face it, yes, we're down in 14th place in the Premier League right now, but a couple of wins, literally 2 wins, could put you in a European spot. Is it realistic with this squad? Is it realistic with the amount of injuries that we've got right now that we will be getting a number of wins, more than a lot of our rivals mid-table right now, for us to be finishing in a European spot? I tell you what, I'd love to sit here and say that I'm confident that that is going to happen, but sadly I'm not, and that is me being a realist. I like to be a very positive fan. I like to think of, the best things happening at the football club, but you've got to be realistic about this squad right now. You've got to be realistic about the injuries that we've got, and also you've got to be realistic, I think it's very fair to say, the type of football, the style of play that we play under Thomas Frank, even when we do have a fit and available squad ready at his disposal. So it's frustrating. It really, really is frustrating right now. We've got 3 very tough games coming up. Manchester United away, Newcastle at home, and then, of course, the big North London derby at home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Arsenal. Yes, it was a very tough game on Sunday against City, 2-0 down at half-time. I even know people who went home. They felt that bad about it, and they thought that it was going to be a high-scoring win for City in that second half, but it wasn't to be. Spurs came back, and I tell you what, if only Spurs could play like this every week for 90 minutes, we'd be right up there, sitting in the top 4, because that is the way that we want to be playing. Of course, Romero went off at half-time. Romero's comments just short of an hour after the window, he said unbelievable and disgraceful. And he also used the emoji of the hand on his face as well. And Romero and other players look really frustrated, in my opinion, at the moment. And I get their frustration completely. And I feel like they have probably been promised that we are going to go big in transfer windows, including the January one. Although I would say you're never going to get the players that you do in a summer window in a January transfer window. Of course, it is a lot more difficult, but the amount of time that we've had to plan for this January window, and particularly given all of the injuries that we have got, you can tell Romero's frustration by what he wrote on social media. I know some people are saying that the translation from Argentinian to English of him saying unbelievable and disgraceful, it could mean something completely different. But, we only saw a couple of weeks ago after that Bournemouth game what he wrote on social media about the lies, and certainly that wasn't translated wrongly either. So You can tell he is deeply frustrated. I've seen many mixed comments online, actually. A lot of people, most people, the majority of people, I might add, completely agree with what he said. Some people don't agree with the way and the fashion that he's gone about this. I completely agree with what he's done. I think that sometimes you need to call out the situation and tell the fans exactly what is going on. And he seems to love the club. He wants the best for the football club, in my opinion, and he wants it to work. He wants to be successful. And I've said this a few times, after us winning the Europa League in May in Bilbao, that was meant to be the springboard, in my opinion. And I feel like some players like Romero feel exactly the same. You know, we want to be competing for trophies again and again and again. And the club have probably promised the players, including Romero, who signed a new deal. They probably promised him a lot more, certainly making him club captain as well. And he must feel extremely frustrated. We have, 11 players available for, the game against Manchester City, and we got a 2-2 draw. Fair play to Spurs. Give credit where credit is due to Thomas Frank and this Tottenham Hotspur team for coming back into that game, and I felt like we probably should have gone on to win it in the end. But Romero going off at half-time, he was ill for the Frankfurt game as well, but he soldiered on and he played in the game. Let me talk a little bit about Liam Horgan coming in, because I've seen a bit of frustration from Spurs fans saying that we're literally turning into Brentford. We've got 9 ex-Brentford employees now. I tell you what, this one I feel like is a good fit for Tottenham, because we have had so many issues. I talk about injuries, talk about Romero there in the comments. Now, talking about the injuries, we've had so many injuries. Ange Postecoglou got the blame a lot of the time from a lot of fans, actually, in the last couple of years during his tenure at Tottenham. And now, the amount of injuries that we've had this season. Thomas Frank, I believe, and think that he needs somebody he knows, he's worked with before, he trusts, because we have gone round in circles in the medical department. We have employed so many people. We have then let them go. We've gone round in circles. We've employed more people. Then we've advertised the job again, or various jobs in the medical department. And, I think that Thomas Frank at this point needs somebody that he knows, he trusts, he's worked with before. So I would welcome this addition to the backroom staff, because something certainly needs to change in that medical department with the amount of injuries that we've had, certainly in the last couple of years. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I use Romero's comment, unbelievable how many injuries that we've had. You can't have people like Romero, playing whilst they are ill. You need that depth as well. And Spurs have a lot to do. I think it's also fair to say, although it's incredibly frustrating that we didn't add more to the squad in this January transfer window, particularly given the injuries, because we are actually a weaker squad. Yes, it's difficult in January. You would think that we could have got a couple of deals over the line, even if it was a couple of loan players until the end of the season to help us out. I think it's also fair to say in a January transfer window, we know how difficult it is, but the board really should be judged on the summer transfer window. The first summer transfer window without Daniel Levy there. 25 years, of course, he was at the club. Now, Vinay Venkatesham has come out in the Matchday programme only a couple of weeks ago and said that we need real leadership, we need real quality, and he outlined a number of things that a lot of us fans have actually spoken about, to each other, online, on fan shows, on podcasts, etc., and we've all said exactly the same thing, and Vinay has come out and said exactly what a lot of us have been thinking. But of course, it's not about words, it is about action. So the summer transfer window, I think, is the one you can really, really judge. I know some people have said, no, you need to judge them on this January transfer window. I think so to a certain extent, but fully, I think, is the summer one, because that is where teams get the majority of business done. Now, the summer window for me, I expect even more now. I expect Spurs to go big, because if Spurs want to be that team fighting on all fronts, like they have said a number of times now, we need to do some dramatic business. We need to do a lot of business, spend a lot of money, put a lot of investment into this squad to make us anywhere near a top 4 team again, in terms of depth and quality as well. I expect a few players to go out the door as well. And it'll be interesting to see if Thomas Frank is even there next season to be there witnessing all of these players coming in the door in the summer. But a huge summer ahead. Yes, some people will probably say, Chris, you say this every window. Chris, you say this every January window. Let's look to the summer. And we always say whenever a window closes, we're always looking forward to the next one. But I think this time, with Daniel Levy departing in the September, I feel like this new structure should be, judged massively in this summer transfer window coming up in 2026. But am I disappointed by the January one? Yes, I think we should have done more. And I think that Thomas Frank is going to be up against it from now until the end of the season, because there is going to be a lot of frustration. There's a lot of players out injured right now and a lot of players that are going to be out for a number of months. Conor Gallagher talking about Xavi Simons. I thought he was absolutely fantastic on Sunday. I thought João Palhinha played well as well. Archie Gray played well. Dominic Solanke, wow, what a finish from him, the scorpion kick. And he feels like a new signing, actually, Dominic Solanke, the amount of time that he has been out. But Conor Gallagher on Xavi Simons, saying that he is a great player. He will get better and better. I've been saying this actually from the start of the season, that I saw a number of glimpses from Xavi Simons, and I do think that he's absolutely right. He is going to get better and better. He is an absolute baller, and assisting, goal scoring, dribbling. I think that the guy has everything in his locker, and he's been at many clubs. He's played alongside some great players, and I think that this time now at Spurs is certainly his time to shine. But let's hope that players like Xavi Simons can stay injury-free, because honestly, we need all the help we can get right now, particularly in the month of Feb. As I mentioned, the games against United, Newcastle and Arsenal. Let's hope that we can get as many points as possible and climb up that Premier League table. And, wouldn't it be a miracle at this point that Spurs could get in a European spot for next season? Of course, we are in the last 16 of the Champions League. Is it realistic that Spurs win that competition to be in the Champions League next season? Probably not. So the league position is very, very important for Thomas Frank and Tottenham right now. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Have a great week. Keep smiling. I'll see you soon. Come on, you Spurs.